How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another watch list. Thank you so much for clicking the video. It means the absolute world to me. I'm actually going to start off today's video with the watch list itself of the indexes and the equities here instead of some of the swings. I do have some swings on at the moment. I do want to go over those as well, but I'll do that at the end just in case you're watching this for the watch list and you don't care about the swing trading stuff. But nonetheless, thank you so much for being here. It means the absolute world to me. And without further ado, let's get into the watch list. So kicking things off with SPY. First things first, previous day high, previous day low. That's our main range, okay? I'm going to zoom out a little bit here to the 1 hour. Over the previous day high, my next resistance zone above is going to be this Wednesday low and Monday low between 689.19 and 687.93. Again, if it's in a light gray line for me, it means it's not directly the next major previous day high or low, but it's some areas of interest on the way up as well. I can definitely see us retesting some of these lows here. That could be an area of resistance. So not a ton of room. I will watch calls over the previous day high, but not a ton of room up here when we go to retest this previous Monday low and of course the Wednesday low here as well. Above that, we have this pivot area up here, 691.93 to 691.28. So we can see that on the 4 hour. I mean, you can see it pretty clearly here on the 1 hour as well, right? Lots of action here, some highs here, some lows here. Definitely would watch that. But the main area, if SPY wants to be bullish this week, we have a very clear 4 hour supply zone and previous day high up at 695.47. So I really like to see if I'm marking supply and demand. I really like to see it align with previous day highs and lows. So again, we have some intermediate zones here on the way up to the next previous day high at 695, but I'm not going to leave this entire area blank from 686 to 695. That's a huge area, right? But we do have that 4 hour supply up at this previous day high here. So I definitely love that. It's a very good looking supply zone as well. Again, I'm not directly trading supply and demand anymore. But I do like to mark them on the chart when they're very obvious, and I will just mark them on daily time frames, daily and weekly and monthly for like swings, but like for day trading, daily time frame, 4 hour and 1 hour only, and only if it's very, very clear. I used to do 30-minute, 45-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, and daily, and it was just way too much, and it went against my bread and butter system, which is break and retest, because plenty of times there'd be like, I'm watching puts below previous day low. Oh, but we have a big demand zone here. And while that may work plenty of times, I was finding myself going against the trend way too often, trying to take this demand bounce, but we're under the previous day low. And a lot of times price would just rip through that demand. I'd be red and it was a pain in the ass. Nonetheless, that's my zones for SPY here. So again, 4 hour supply, big area, 695.47 down to 693.47, right? But just looking at the previous day low range, if we're underneath the previous day low, my next support is down here, which is also the daily 100 at 675.79. And then we get into all these lows down here, which every time we've retested these recently, we have bounced, okay? It was the tariff high all the way back in October. Highs, swept it, bounced it, swept it. I'm not looking at any shorts like underneath this area unless we break December's low at 670.96, which there's a good about room down to 664.45 with really nothing or not much to stop it at all. So very cautious. Like if we break and retest previous day low, really not looking at shorts because we have this daily 100 here, this 4 hour high, below that the tariff high. I'm really not looking at shorts unless we're under 670.96 to be honest. So let's go over to QQQ. So over on QQQ, previous day high, previous day low. Inside that previous day high and low, we have September's high and December's low. Again, very faint levels. I don't want them clogging up on my chart, but they are an area of interest, so I am keeping them on there. Above the previous day high, we have that same 4 hour supply zone at the previous Thursday's high, right, at 615.82. But on the way up, we do have an intermediate level as well. So if I zoom out a little bit here to the 1 hour, we can see it pretty clearly. High, low, low. So again, on the way up, I don't want to keep this completely clear, right? Let me just bring this over a little bit to this week. I could see us having, this could be a price target if we're in longs over the previous day high, or maybe it's an area we reject as a whole, right? Before we get to that 4 hour supply. But again, 4 hour supply on QQQ as well. Very clear zone. Previous day high marked in there as well. So if price is bullish this week, and again, this is institutional orders. This is a big area of interest on the chart. If SPY is going to make a move and be bullish. It's very likely we move back up to the supply zone. As far as puts go on QQQ, I will watch puts underneath 596.42, the previous day low, and 594.76, down to my next support at 587.49, 590.10, right? Zoom out here on the 4 hour. A little bit different than SPY. Even under this low here, the next major lows are down here at November's low at 580.74. So that's really as far as I can see it going for now. If we're going lower than that, we have all types of previous day lows down here in the 570s and 560s. Next major low would be September's low at 558.84. Can't let that happen though, because if that happens, then everyone's oh, the market's crashing, we're failing, oh my gosh. It's just a normal, pullback for the market to, make a new all-time high, in my opinion. All right, Apple. It's just funny every time we get these like pullbacks or whatever. It's just like, Twitter specifically just goes absolutely nuclear. All right, Apple. Apple was beautiful. Daily, man, this was awesome. Daily candle. Look at that. Made a high, lower high, 2 daily inverse hammers. I mean, that is just unbelievable. I have not traded any swings to the downside. I've only traded upside, but man, that would have been lethal. I had this level here at 261, 262 that underneath I was looking at shorts, and it was absolutely perfect on, I believe, Thursday or Friday. Maybe it was up here. Oh yes. It was 2 different levels. I had these previous highs up here at 271 that I was bearish underneath. That was beautiful. Same thing here on Friday as well, under 262.23. So as far as levels go, though, on Apple for day trading, we have our previous day high, our previous day low. Oh, the previous day high, like, just it looks very funky right now. If we go to the 15-minute, okay, like our previous day high from Friday is, where is it? Right here, 9:30. But like we have this just above from the pre-market and this candle here. So anything, under 264.54, I'm not looking at longs till we get over that. Then up to these 4-hour pivots as well. So this pivot low here, it was a high, low. I could see some selling up here at 266.92. Above that next resistance is 271.7, which were these previous highs. Highs turn to lows. And then all the way up to our next daily previous day high, which is also a daily supply, which we just looked at right here. So this daily supply zone from 275.78 to 274.37, and technically all the way up to the high of that candle at 280.18. But man, what just textbook price action on Apple. Like really, really clean. It's really awesome. So we'll see how far this goes. As far as support goes, underneath the previous day low, my next support is going to be 252.17 and 251.58. Okay. We do have this former weekly high at 253.49 on the way as well, but we'll see. That's just again a very faint level. It was just this weekly high here. Honestly, not even really that interested in it anymore. I'm just going to take that off the chart. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking at on Apple. Let's see what happens here. I was looking for potential swing on the daily, back up at this 261, these highs here, but of course, rip right through it. So yeah, Apple's an interesting spot, beautiful price action, and move really nice. So just Thursday was just beautiful. Thursday and Friday, honestly. Friday a little bit more choppy. This was pretty choppy here, but once it got moving, beautiful. But Thursday, man, I wonder if I can find it here on the 5-minute, the entry. Man, I can't actually remember. It was obviously in this area somewhere here, but it was just textbook. It was beautiful. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's go over to Tesla. Again, not day trading Tesla, just keeping the levels updated. Previous day high, previous day low, 410.87 to 424.03. The only other major area is this 4-hour supply, which I think it looks pretty nice on Tesla here. So let's see what happens at that level. Again, not day trading it. I'm just watching it just for fun. I'll keep it on the watch list for that reason as well. NVIDIA and AMD. So NVIDIA broke underneath these lows here. So this 187 to 186 area was multiple lows, lows. Then we retested it. Highs. Swept it. Like just lots of action. Lows, highs, lows again. So now we are back under that level. So previous day high, previous day low. I'll look at calls over this level, 187.51, back up to the next highs at 193.66. As far as puts go, definitely room down. I'll be watching puts underneath 181.6 when the market opens on Tuesday. Down to my next level. Look at this, right? Straight, oops, wrong button here. Look at this here. This was, I remember this early last week. It was like Monday or Tuesday, something like that. Straight up move. What do stocks like to do sometimes? Straight up, straight down. So underneath the previous day low, 181.6, straight down to 174.62. I'll definitely be watching that on Tuesday for sure. Again, straight up move here, right? If I can go back to the 15-minute, let's go back to the 20-day 15-minute. Again, straight up here. This was on last Friday. I remember this vividly. Let's see if it wants to give that entire thing back down to 174. So we'll see. Let's go over to AMD. AMD, not as clean. Very tight range here. Lots of support below. So underneath the previous day low, I do have this 4-hour demand. It just, what it means is I'm not taking a demand bounce here, but I'm very cautious. I would not be looking at puts underneath previous day low because we have this very, very clear 4-hour demand. The body of it from 199.55 to the wick of it at 201.75. And this daily low as well as there. So this daily low has been a very key level on AMD. This low here, right, where we gapped up back in October. This low has been extremely key. We swept it, trapped shorts, ran back above it again here. Same thing here. So same exact thing here as well. It's like we have this gap on AMD that the whole world is watching down all the way down here at 170, right? And it's like every time it looks like it's getting close, it just gets bought back up. We did have these 4-hour highs that finally did get retested here. So these 4-hour highs here at 186, 1, 2 became support here. This was beautiful. Of course, we talked about this in the last watch list. This was mostly in the aftermarket. Like it was aftermarket close. There wasn't really a great opportunity. Like, yeah, so this here, yeah, so like you got very close here on this Thursday close, but unless you were just taking a gamble on that overnight, you couldn't swing it for calls. I mean, it was beautiful. I did put one on my watch list that went up like 100%, but I wasn't just going to, there was no confirmation here at the level, right? Even if opening to the next session the next day, by the time the market opened, it was already up like, 30, 40%. So that was kind of shitty, but it is what it is. Let's wrap up with Google and Amazon. Google, same thing, been heading down. We'll see how far this thing goes. I mean, with a stock like this where, Warren Buffett's heavily invested in, he's got all these billions of dollars of leaps on it, whatever. I'm still obviously very bullish for the short term and long term on this stock. So we'll see how far it wants to go, though. I'd be surprised if we get under 300. So previous day low, previous day high, underneath the previous day low, my next support down at 393 and 299.2. Again, whole psych number of 300 will be in play there as well. Over the previous day high, I'll be watching calls up to the next previous day high at 316.39 and 314.53. So again, over the previous day high, probably over these pre-market highs as well at 310.55. I'd be very cautious of that if I'm long over the previous day high here. I'd probably want to see this area, this pivot here, this low, turn into this high. Probably want to clear that area as well before moving back up to this area here, which was beautiful. We had these lows on Tuesday. Absolutely beautiful. Turn into Thursday's high day. Textbook. Let's go to Amazon. So Amazon, I do have a 6-month swing on this as well. So if I go out to the daily, I just bought it after the earnings drop. Was up 50% here on these highs here, but not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for us to at least fill this gap up here at 220. Very bullish on Amazon at these lows here. I mean, 197 has been defended very well so far. If that breaks, my stop loss on the swing is under 193. This gap here, we have this weekly gap down here at 193. So if price does get a daily close under 183, I'll cut the swing. Let's see how that works out. But as far as day trading goes, previous day high, previous day low, a little bit of room over the previous day high up to 203.95 and these lows here. So they're staying on the chart. It was also a pivot here on Thursday. So again, not a ton of room. I would love for Amazon to be super bullish and just get over 203. I would honestly think that'd be a pretty good shot back up to 212. But as far as the swing goes, we can start talking about that now. All the swings I have. We have the daily gaps on Amazon. We had that earnings drop. I'd like us to get back up to 220 to even consider selling it, maybe even the 61 at 216. But we have lots of daily gaps. The farthest daily gap goes all the way up here to 232. That would be freaking crazy. I don't expect that for the swing. But we'll see what happens. Let's finish up the watch list. That's going to be everything for the watch list on day trading. Let's go over the rest of the swings. Let's see. We had Costco. That was great, 254%. XLU, man. Unbelievable. So pumped about this. I've been waiting for XLU for so long. So long. Finally took the swing trade. Weekly highs, turn to support. Beautiful flag look. Look at this. This is, oh my gosh, this is just such a beautiful move. Like, this is like, I like from an aesthetic point of view, like it's just such beautiful price action. It just, so anyways, the swing trade was placed here on the 9th. I believe it was on the 2-day where I placed the swing trade. 2-day candle here when we close over this trend line. That was good enough for me. Lots of lower wicks. I believe there was a TTM squeeze on the 2-day as well. I mean, this could not have been better timing. I mean, seriously, these are up 50% right now. I have the June calls. And I'm going to see what I'm going to do come Monday. Because we have this all-time high here. I'm obviously expecting selling there. Do I just take the 50%? I have one contract. Again, just getting into swing, so I'm not going super heavy. So I might just take the profit here. At that point, it would probably be like 55%. And again, it's XLU, boring stock. June calls, not, you know, for this type of move, 50% on June calls is pretty good. But yeah, not like if this was a monthly swing, this would be 200% right now. So we'll see what happens, but just so beautiful. So happy with the execution, so happy with the patience, so happy with how it played out. Easy identifiable risk would have been a daily close under 41.13. Just awesome. Rocket Lab, have a swing on Rocket Lab at the moment, is down about 30% right now. That's for March calls. So once we had a daily close over this level at 74.17, we reclaimed this demand tier here. That's when I entered the position. Of course, we're down right now. Stop loss is going to be here. The 61 fib at 61.23. So if we get a daily close under that, I will cut the trade. I'm just looking for a move, honestly, back up to like 81, 85. I'm not expecting back to all-time highs. We'll see what happens, though. Next one is SATS, EchoStar. Do have a swing trade here as well. Same thing. We have this very simple plan here. We had weekly demand right here. Came in, orders got filled. Not the best hold, but when we started to claim it a little bit more on the daily, that's when I took the position here. So 1 candle, 2 candle, that's when I entered the position here. This is down, like, I think it's like 15% or so, so nothing crazy. This is a shorter option. This is a March 20th expiration, so I'm just looking to get back to these daily highs here at 123, and I'll take the profit there. Close will be a weekly close under 103.08, breaking the demand. And then, of course, we got the HIMS leap going, and have not cut that. I mean, it's a leap for next January, very small position, so it's size for 0. Again, there's so much going on with HIMS right now that I'm just letting it ride. I don't really care about it. You know, the money, it is what it is. It's a leap. Again, if this thing just gets back to 40, that leap will be over 100%. So we'll see what happens with HIMS. I mean, usually when stocks like this and people forget about it, they get bought up and run, but we'll see. They have a lot of lawsuit shit going on. And then last one's MBIS. MBIS and MBS just had their earnings. So nice. Stop loss was a weekly close underneath 75.56. It held it perfectly on the weekly, so that was beautiful. These former highs here, turn to lows. Again, trapped, shorts, boom, ripped their faces off. Absolutely beautiful. Daily looks awesome. This flag looks awesome. The weekly looks awesome. Super cool, super bullish. So yeah, this is my first initial price target of 118.58. Again, it's a leap, January expiration of next year. So I really would love to get all-time highs on MBIS. So really, really good stuff. Definitely been, you know, a little frustrating, but it's a leap, so this doesn't bother me. This, at the most, it was down like 28%. So that's going to wrap it up. Long one today. Wow, 20 minutes. I'll definitely try to make these shorter for you guys, but if you stayed for the whole thing, thank you so much. If you did enjoy the content, please consider dropping a like, comment, sharing the video. It would mean the absolute world to me. I'll see you all in the next watch list. Peace.